Welcome to Magic Beyond the Books. Today we're talking about the scene where Harry Potter and Cho Chang go on a date. I'm Callan.
And I'm Renee. Warning, there are Harry Potter spoilers in this episode and every episode. So today we're talking about the scene is from Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, which is book 5, chapter 25, The Beetle at Bay. The page numbers are 556 to 563. And if you're listening to the audiobook, it should be around 23 to 25 minutes of that chapter, Beetle at Bay. But basically, Harry and Cho go on a date in Hogsmeade. That's the scene we're talking about.
Yep. But there are some interesting things that they do. You know, this is the first time we see Harry, I guess, in a romantic setting, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to count at all. There's zero romance in the what is it, Yule Ball? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
No romance.
No one goes to the Yule Ball with the person that they end up with, right?
Yep. Yeah. But that was purely like a business trip for Harry. Like he was like, I just need a girl. Like just if you are of that type, I'm taking you. I'm trying to get you on a date to the Yule Ball, and after we enter, it's over. Like we're not. There's no more purely transactional.
Yeah.
It seemed like same with Ron. Like they don't have any interest in girls at this point.
Yeah, they were just like, yeah, I need a dance partner. That's it. Like, I gotta show up with someone, but I'm not gonna ask the person. Well, I guess Harry tried, but whatever. We won't get into that.
Yeah. But so yeah, this is the first time we see Harry in a romantic setting, even though it turns out to not be romantic at all. Well, it's not. We see him in a romantic setting like prior to this, right? In December, when doesn't Cho ask Harry to go with her to Hogsmeade at that point?
So this is kind of up for debate. I feel like she kind of like asks him without asking him. She's like, "Oh, only if you want to." And then he was like, "Wait, yeah, do you want to go with Hogsmeade?" I feel like she did that thing where you don't want to ask, but you're like basically making him ask you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know?
Heavily hinting.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I really would want to go. I don't really have anybody to go with though, like, but and then like you just leave you try and like leave as awkward a silence as you can, so then the other person is like forced to be like they sort of just like word vomit, and hopefully they say what you want, or they say what you wanted them to say. But yeah, so I guess this isn't the first time that we see Harry in a romantic situation, because it was very romantic with when they were in the Room of Requirement and they shared a kiss. But this is we're gonna see if Harry has Riz, if you're familiar with that term.
This is Harry's like dating dating life, I guess you could call it. But yeah, spoiler alert, he does not have any Riz.
Yeah. Well, so I don't. As we get into it, I don't know. He doesn't. I will say he doesn't have any Riz. In the I guess current interpretation of that word, charisma, but he tries his best. I'll say that. As a 15-year-old boy, like I would not be able to talk to a girl and probably even anybody for that matter without like tripping over my words. And in this scenario, it's very fraught with not necessarily like she's trying to manipulate him, but there's a lot of like glass to be stepped on when he's talking to her. So we're gonna go into this remembering that he's 15 and she's I think 16 or 17. Yeah.
So
an old lady taking advantage of a young bloke.
Yeah. So they're maybe not expert daters as well, but I'm still gonna make comments about this date. But anyway, so I guess you could say it starts in the entrance hall. They meet there. And I do love how this is described, because I do feel like it's so relatable how he's walking up to her and he says he's like suddenly super aware of his arms and how they're swinging and everything. I feel like I've been in a situation where it's like all of a sudden you feel so awkward and weird.
Yeah, for sure. Like this is definitely very relatable. I mean, maybe if you have like practiced some sort of meditation, but like there's no other scenario where you should be like actively feeling where your like arm is. That should just be an extension of your body. Like, oh yeah, my arm is there. But like if you like actually vividly are like wow, like my arm is, I can feel my arm, not necessarily like feel something touching your arm. Like I can feel my arm, like it's moving, like it is an arm, but like that is at the level of like in his own head he is at this point.
Yeah.
Probably his skin is probably on fire. Like he's just like trying not to sweat.
Yeah. Cho, of course, she's, popular girl in school. She's got the good looking ponytail. She's playing it cool. I don't know. We don't really know if she's feels awkward or not, but
Yeah.
but yeah, so I guess they get signed out by Filch, and then they're just kind of doing this long walk to Hogsmeade, which Hogsmeade, I guess, I mean, they arrive at Hogsmeade Station when they go to school every like term, so I guess it's not that far away.
Yeah, probably not super far, but they're walking around or walking down to Hogsmeade, and they pass the Quidditch stadium, and I feel like Cho bails them out a little bit. They get to start talking about Quidditch, and that kind of carries them all the way until Hogsmeade itself.
So I have some Quidditch facts for you if you'd like.
Hit me
so
with
in this conversation, they talk about, they kind of like go through a bunch of different like things about Quidditch, how they like went to the World Cup, and then they talk about Oliver Wood, and Oliver Wood is now, at this point in the story, he's now a professional Quidditch player, and he plays for a team called Puddlemere United, which Cho confused. She thought he was playing for Pride of Portree. So I have some facts about both of those professional teams if you want to hear them.
Okay. Yeah, shoot.
So Pride of Portree, that team was founded in 1292, and they come from the Isle of Skye, and their fans are called the Prides.
Is their logo a lion? Like a prize lion?
Their logo is a star.
Okay.
Like, so they wear deep purple robes, and it has a gold star on the chest.
Okay.
So I'm not sure they're the stars or the prides. I don't know. But the biggest fun facts I could find about them team is their most famous chaser was Katrina McCormack, who captained the team for 2 league wins in the 1960s. And she ended up playing for Scotland 36 times. So she was a really good chaser. And she had a son and a daughter. The daughter currently plays keeper for the same team, and her son is the lead guitarist for the Weird Sisters band.
Wow, a lot of tie-ins.
Yeah, from the Yule Ball.
Yeah. And apparently wasn't that something we covered last week with Sirius? Somebody was supposedly
Stubby Boardman was I think part of the Weird Sisters. I need to look back again. But yeah, this band comes up a lot. I think they even listened to it on the Wizard Wireless at some point. So
okay. That's the only band that JK could have come with. Like that was like, I'm only coming with one band. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like they're just gonna repeat.
What's her name?
Celestina's Warbeck comes up.
Yes, yeah.
But she's not she's a solo artist.
Yeah. She's the Madonna of Harry Potter, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, there's Madonna and the Rolling Stones, and that's it. That's
all. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so that's Pride of Portree, and then Puddlemere United is the team that Oliver Wood actually plays for. They were founded in 1163, so a little bit older than Pride of Portree, and they're the oldest team in the League of Britain and Ireland. Is Puddlemere United?
Okay.
They have 22 league wins and 2 European Cup triumphs. And their team anthem is "Beat back those bludgers, boys, and chuck that quaffle here."
Okay.
Which is hard to say.
Yeah, it is. It's a tongue twister.
Yeah, and then they wear
navy. Like their logo is like wheat.
Yeah, so their robes are navy blue, and their emblem is supposed to be 2 crossed golden bulrushes, which are it's like wetland grass, like kind of like a cattail. So that's Puddlemere United, and that concludes all of my little Quidditch facts for now. I actually have one later, but I'll wait till we get to that part of the scene.
I gotta say, the logo is not strong. Your logo is grass.
That's what I'm saying. Like grass, a star. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Some Dallas Cowboy fans are gonna come after me.
Yeah. No, don't worry about the Dallas Cowboy fans. They don't have anything to really. They're just Dallas Cowboy fans. They're New York Yankees fans. They're LA Lakers fans.
Like bandwagon.
Yeah, they're bandwagon. Yeah. Yeah, they're just bandwagon fans. They're not too worried about it.
All right, yeah. So come for me, Dallas Cowboys / Lakers / everything else.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, get him, Renee. Get him, Renee. Also, Duke basketball. They're very big fans of Duke basketball.
Yeah. Anyway, so where were we? So they're walking by, they're talking about Quidditch, and that basically gets them to Hogsmeade. And along the way, Pansy Parkinson just being, I'm trying to think of a different word, but I can't think of one, so I'm just gonna say it. She is just being the biatch she always is.
Yeah, she just loves it. She that's her character, though. You know, every opportunity. Doesn't she get with Draco at some point?
I think so.
She's fawning over Draco in the train car.
Oh yeah. But yeah, like, I don't know what her deal is. She's just like, sees Cho and Harry, and she's just like, oh yeah, you know, Harry isn't as handsome as your dead ex-boyfriend. Like,
yeah.
All right, what is wrong with you?
She has a very graceful way with words, that Pansy.
Yeah.
But yeah, they get chirped by Pansy Parkinson a little bit, which, I mean, it definitely not to that degree. But if your friends see you and again, Pansy is not their friend, but like if your friends see you in the hall holding hands with another girl, they're gonna give you a little. They're gonna rib you a little bit. They're gonna give you some guff when they see you the next time. But so it's not too unlike. Definitely not to the same degree. Making fun of your dead ex-boyfriend. But yeah, you know, I think this is pretty normal. Like I said, not to the same degree, but pretty normal interaction, right? Getting a little guff from your peers.
Yeah, like, ooh, Harry and Cho.
Harry and Cho sitting in a tree.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they get to Hogsmeade and they see a wanted poster at Dervish and Bangs of all the escaped Death Eaters, because this is like right after that happens.
That's the talk of the town.
Yeah, it's the talk of the town. And Cho brings up this point, like, this is where I'll give this is one of the few times in this scene I'm going to give Cho some credit. She makes a great point here. Why are there no Dementors for 10 Death Eaters when there were millions for Sirius?
Yeah. No, she should think more about that, you know? Just like take it a little bit further. A little bit, just, you know, and then Harry is obviously like, yeah, that's weird, yeah.
But I mean, I'm kind of curious about this too. Just to talk about the Dementors for a second, is it really because like the Ministry doesn't have control over them that they're not there, or I think I'm actually genuinely confused about the timeline here. Like those Death Eaters that escaped, that's because like Voldemort just went to the Dementors and was like, hey, you don't gotta guard this no more? Like what exactly happened?
Yeah, I don't really know. I think there is some truth to they don't really have control of the Dementors anymore. But again, like if they really didn't have control of all of the Dementors, then like why isn't everybody coming out of Azkaban? You know, because I don't know what kind of lines of defense are in Azkaban, but I would assume that there's the Dementors are one of the central pieces of that. Obviously, being out in the middle of the ocean or out in the middle of a body of water is another essential piece of the security of Azkaban. But I don't really know.
Well, yeah, and also like Umbridge sends 2 Dementors to go after Harry. You know, a little bit before this, or you know, before he goes to school. So like, they had control of them then, but now they've lost control. Like, when exactly did that happen? I know Dumbledore predicts it, but I think I'm kind of confused on what, like you said, what level? Yeah, why isn't everyone out of Azkaban?
Yeah, so I do think, because in Prisoner of Azkaban, they don't, even though Sirius is assumed to be like this super dangerous criminal, Dumbledore doesn't really want the Dementors there either. You know, like even then.
Yeah.
So I think maybe the initial one was like he really didn't have a point, you know, any leverage against the Ministry, but like now he's like, look, Sirius got out and he was able to like get past the Dementors. Like he was able to evade them. So maybe Dumbledore was like, look, they didn't even work last time. So like, what's the point of like sending all of these Dementors to the school to basically do nothing and just terrorize the students?
That's true. Yeah.
You know,
like, so yeah, after Prisoner of Azkaban, like he could just be like, look, bro, like Dementors went after Harry and Hermione, like, never again. Yeah,
they did the opposite of what we wanted them to do. Yeah. If Cho would just kind of question it a little bit more, maybe her and Harry would have a good conversation about conspiracy theories.
Yeah, you want him to talk to you more than Hermione? Yeah, get into the conspiracy theories because that's half of what they talk about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it literally is. Like that's what is they are the little conspiracy group. And I mean they're always talking about like Snape is actually against Dumbledore this entire time. So like they're talking about all the things under the sun. And most of the conversation that are featured in the book are not about school at all.
Yeah, yeah. Or just like other topic. They don't even realize she's a girl until they're
Mm-hmm.
14
Yeah.
years old. So they're not exactly talking about like other topics. They're just like
Yeah, they're not talking
sitting
about the
there.
basics. They're jumping way past the basics. They're talking about much more big picture stuff than any small talk.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, back to the date. So they were outside, it rains on them, and Cho suggests that they get a coffee and they go to a quote unquote really nice place. That's this small tea shop called Madame Puttyfoot's.
Yeah, Madame Puttyfoot's. Tea shop. It's filled with Valentine's decor. If we hadn't mentioned it, but is it Valentine's Day on this day?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and if people are curious, so this takes place on 2/14/1996.
Okay. Yeah. So it's on Valentine's Day, so it's all decorated for Valentine's Day. There's a bunch of people there. All the names.
All couples.
Yeah. All the hot names. Golden cherubs hovering over the tables, occasionally throwing confetti. I would not like that. I would leave a bad review. That's not something I really want to deal with, confetti. I only want to deal with confetti when I win a championship. All right. Cho, I guess, comments that it's a cute, decor. Harry hates it. Reminds him of Umbridge's office. So yeah, I mean, I think that's a pretty good comparison.
You know who would love this place, Callan?
Who?
Gilderoy Lockhart.
Oh, probably. Yeah, he'd be all about it. He'd be like, "Wow, look at all this cool stuff. Like, this is really my vibe."
Yeah, it's even for me. I feel like even if I was a 16, 17-year-old girl, this would be like too much for me.
Yeah, it's done up. I will say, like, if you're Madame Puttyfoot, you went all out on the decorations, but like you're still serving like basic drinks. Like you gotta dress them up. Like Starbucks is absolutely putting you out a bit. I mean, obviously you're not competing with Starbucks, but like they are, they're doing everything they can to get people to come. But like it seems like they order like coffee and like tea, and that's it. Are you a tea or coffee person? Like basic?
I'm not really either, but if I do drink something, I drink tea.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like tea. It just tastes like dirt to me. Yeah. Maybe I haven't had good tea, but
wait, are you a coffee person then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Coffee doesn't taste as much like dirt, but tea, it just doesn't do it for me. It just tastes like slightly flavored water, and the flavor is dirt.
Okay, first of all, how dare you? Tea, I mean, I'm not the biggest tea drinker, but it's like sweet and it's warm and it's not as aggressive as coffee.
It's sweet.
I mean, I put some sugar in it, but it like
okay. See that's where I'm doing. I drink my coffee black, and I like it. It's definitely not sweet. I'm not saying I want sweet, but the times I've had, it's like there's not anything redeeming about the teas that I've had that make me want to drink it. I think the coffee, I do like the caffeine. It definitely gets me buzzing a little bit, but I think there's other flavors in the coffee that make me want to come back to it.
Well, also like, I mean, I'm drinking, like I'll drink a black tea or like, your standard like English breakfast kind of thing, but I also do like, they have peppermint ones or like a peach tea or some of the ones, like if I'm sick, I might do like one of the throat coat ones. So there's like different flavors.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I just haven't had the right teas. My wife needs to get me on the tea game a little bit.
But I will say, in my opinion, people who drink tea with milk in it, like that's just disgusting to me.
Not a milk person?
Milk in tea. I have nothing against milk. Milk in tea, disgusting. Like it. Would you pour milk into water and drink it?
No.
Right?
No, I wouldn't.
That's what you're doing with tea. But
yeah.
like it's different than like pouring milk into coffee, for example.
Yeah, I feel like coffee is more dense, like, and there's something there. Whereas like tea is like, it's just water. It's like sort of flavored water. So like, I don't know. Yeah, no, that is an interesting point. But like I've, what, like chai tea lattes right? That's a thing, right? Chai tea.
I honestly have no idea.
Chai tea. You're a tea person. You never had chai tea.
Okay, first of all, I started this out by saying that I am not a tea person.
Okay.
If I have
Yeah.
if I have to drink
I put you in
one,
that bucket, didn't I? Yeah.
if I have to drink one, I drink tea, and I occasionally drink tea, but I am not someone who like has a tea every day or
If
anything.
somebody puts a gun to my head, it
Someone
makes me
puts a
pick
gun to my head. I'm
between
picking
coffee
tea.
and tea.
I'm team Harry here. Harry likes tea. We know he likes tea, but Cho seems to like coffee, and Cho also orders coffee for both of them.
Yeah, that's a little rude. I don't.
Yes.
Maybe you don't order for me. Harry is intimidated in the situation, and she's not really helping him feel more comfortable. You know.
Yeah. And yeah, I agree. Like, I mean, listeners tell us, I think it's rude to order for someone on a first date.
Yeah. No, I would tend to agree with you.
Like, I mean, now, I mean, I've been married for like 7 years or something. Like, if my husband, now I want my husband to order for me. I don't have to pick. He knows what I like better than I know. But on a first date, like, I feel like you're making a lot of assumptions.
Yeah, I think that is a very a popular like trope in like rom-coms or like just romance movies in general or romance scenes where like the man, it could be the woman, I don't know what, but typically it's the man ordering for his date, and that's supposed to come off as like very romantic and like, oh, this guy knows how to take charge and stuff like that. But like, well, maybe I don't really like spinach, or something like that. Like, what if there's something on the burger or on the pasta or something like that? Maybe they don't like balsamic vinaigrette on the whatever it is. What's the thing? Mozzarella. It's mozzarella caprese, whatever. Yeah, but
Oh, yeah.
like maybe they don't like the appetizer that you ordered or whatever.
I love caprese for the record.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. Like, I want to have my dating advice from Dr. Renee here. If you want to take charge by saying, "Hi, I'd like to go on a date with you. Let's go to Madame Puttyfoot's at 5 p.m. on Friday. Does that work for you?" That's how you should take charge. Like, make plans and then ask them if they're okay with that. Like, instead of just going, "Oh, like I want to hang out. Like, we should get together sometime."
Yeah, but that's how the cool kid does it. That's how the cool alpha female in the school does it. They do it with their pressure. Put him in a pressure cooker and make him sweat. But yeah, ordering for him definitely is, that's a tough move. She like insinuates and they make this date, right? They make these plans, or just like a semblance of a plan, right? Harry is confused about it because Hermione is saying, "Oh, can you come meet us in the Three Broomsticks after?" And Harry is like, "Well, I don't know what we're gonna do. Like, we might spend the entire day together." And I'm sure in his brain, he's like, "Shit, we're gonna have to spend the entire." Like him saying that at that moment, like it's like, "Oh, maybe we are gonna have to spend the entire day together. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with this girl for the entire day. I'm 15. I don't know what I'm supposed to do I don't know what I'm going to eat for breakfast tomorrow, or something like that." So yeah, I mean, maybe she does him a little bit of a favor, but because maybe he has no idea what he's going to order. Maybe he's like, he would take like 15 minutes to order something.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't even know if they like look at a menu. Like, what if you want like a snack, a pastry, a scone with your coffee? Like, she just is like, 2 coffees, that's it.
So they mentioned cherubs. Did you know what cherubs are? Like before like reading this, like when did you figure out what cherub, or maybe you don't remember when you figured
it out? Is it a cherub? Like, it's like a cupid, like a winged baby or something?
Yeah, it's like a little winged fat baby that carries around. Maybe I think Cupid is the only one that carries around the bow and arrow to shoot people with heart arrows. But I remember a while ago I looked into cherubs, and it's really weird. They're in paintings everywhere. Me and my wife, we went to Italy. Cherubs are everywhere in Sistine Chapel, in the Vatican, and all those museums and stuff like that. They're all throughout the art in there, and I thought it was like weird.
Isn't it part of like Greek and Roman mythology? I mean, Cupid is, right?
So Cupid as the baby is not. Cupid, I think he was a Roman or Greek god, but he wasn't a baby. He was like just a guy. Like, he wasn't like a baby.
Mm-hmm.
and I can't remember who initially came up with it, but it was just some guy started putting like little naked babies in paintings, and then it just took off from there. And then that cherub sort of just became
Yeah.
more prominent. But yeah, I just thought cherubs odd origin.
Choice. I guess it's maybe, everyone loves babies and like the like innocence sort of like,
Yeah, I think it's more of a purity thing,
yeah,
like
like that's what they represent kind of.
yeah, I think that's what it is. But yeah,
But
it
yeah,
would be odd to.
Michelangelo, explain yourself.
Yeah, I think it was Donatello actually. So another one of the Ninja Turtles.
I guess I like the Sistine Chapel, I guess is what I'm referring to. But yeah.
Yeah, your date is ordering for you, and then you're also being hounded by these little babies that are throwing confetti all over you.
Into
And
your
apparently,
drink,
these
yeah.
cherubs are like ne'er do wells. Like they're not like the nicest confetti throwing babies.
Yeah. In addition to that, obviously they're also surrounded by like loving couples because it's Valentine's Day. Like in the real world, we know this. Like if you go out on Valentine's Day, it's like couple, 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 couple everywhere.
Yeah, so if all of the decorations, all of the atmosphere wasn't adding to the pressure, you also have the pressure of many of your peers in the shop with you snogging their significant others.
Yeah. Hogwarts #1 playboy, Roger Davies. Is there a popular girl in the school that Roger Davies hasn't been with? I don't think so.
Does he get with Ginny at some point? Or is it Zachariah Smith, right?
She dates a couple people, but Roger isn't one of those. I mean, unless we like missed that one. But he takes Fleur Delacour to the Yule Ball.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
smooth talker.
Yeah, and he asked Cho out, and he's with another girl at this point.
Yeah.
So there's at least 3 different girls.
And he is the Ravenclaw Quidditch captains. That could, that definitely helps. And Cho's Ravenclaw, right? She's a seeker.
Yeah. So they're on the Quidditch team together. Like he's a chaser, she's a seeker. I mean, and he's the captain, so obviously like they interact. Also, like if you're the captain and you're asking out someone on your team, isn't that like kind of weird?
Yeah, there's definitely a weird power dynamic there.
Yeah, like you could make like your practices really uncomfortable after
Although
that.
who holds? Yeah, you could definitely mess it up. Like guys, come on, don't pardon the French, but don't shit where you eat.
Oliver would never mess up the team dynamics that.
Yeah, for sure. He's all about the team. He's a team guy. But I was about to say, like, if you're a really good seeker, I feel like you hold the power in that dynamic between the captain and the seeker. Like maybe the captain could say like, okay, you're out, but maybe the team would mutiny if you were like, oh, is a really good seeker. No, you're out, captain.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Maybe, I don't know.
Like definitely if Harry's really good at seeker. So if there was any funny business trying to bench Harry, like I feel like the team would be like, nah.
Yeah, Harry has some more pull, and McGonagall would probably step in if they were trying to. Yeah, she'd be like, no, like we need the Quidditch World Cup, or the Quidditch Cup in my office.
Yeah, I'm not fired. You're fired. That's very.
But yeah. But I did look up some look back at Roger Davies. So we know obviously the Quidditch stuff. He's so at the time of this date, he's a 7th year. So he's the same year as Fred and George, if that gives you a like perspective on his like age.
Okay, gotcha.
And like we talked about, so he takes Fleur to the Yule Ball the year before this, and they were one of the couples that hook up in the rose bushes outside. So
that's gotta hurt. Every rose has a thorn. I'm pretty sure that's a true saying.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, risk it to get a biscuit, I guess. It's the only hiding place.
Yeah.
Although there's plenty of other rooms, probably.
Yeah, and then I tried to find if he was like in the DA or, like involved in the Battle of Hogwarts or anything that kind of like he came back up again. Cause I feel like all these like, side character students, I get kind of mixed up, like you're talking about like Zachariah Smith or what, like, so I couldn't find anything about him with that. So he's not, as far as I know, he's not in the DA. He wasn't in the Battle of Hogwarts. So maybe he's not with the cause. Maybe he is. We're not sure. He's too busy dating people, I guess.
Yeah, that's his full-time job. He's like,
staking
what
out
is
every girl.
and that's really what it should be about. Don't worry about the Dumbledore's army. Like, take advantage of your time at Hogwarts. Like,
Yeah, be a
break some
kid.
hearts. Be the Quidditch team captain. Live your life, Roger. Like, I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to get involved with Dementors and Death Eaters and all that sort of stuff. Just leave me out of that.
Yeah, he's so he's true to that statement. He's over here in the table right next to them. And the way I'm picturing this also is, have you ever gone to a restaurant where the tables are like super close together?
Oh yeah,
Like
annoying.
uncomfortably close, like where like they can fully hear everything that you're talking about.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
picturing it
super
like
annoying.
that, where like there's like not a lot of space, and you're just like, they're like, it's almost like you're at the same table, and there's just Roger, and he just starts kissing his girlfriend right when you're on this awkward first date.
Yeah. Like, can you please not do that, Roger? I'm struggling. Like, Harry's probably like, I am struggling right now. I'm struggling to even talk. So could you not just be actively kissing your girlfriend or whoever, or your latest fling right in front of us? That'd be great if you could not do that. But no, he doesn't care.
Roger's just out there being Roger. And Cho saves Harry again, I think, by bringing up Umbridge. And then they just kind of talk about how they hate Umbridge because again, they have like 2 topics to talk about.
He could talk about Umbridge for hours probably, but again, conspiracy brain, don't really want to pull that out too much. So yeah, Harry's left a lot with not a lot to talk about, I feel.
Yeah, not a lot to talk about, a lot of awkward silences.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when he just decides, let me bring up how I'm going to meet with another girl after this date.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wrote down, like, I think everything, like, up to this point, it's going okay. It's not too bad. But as soon as he mentions Hermione, that just everything goes downhill. There's no saving this date.
I wouldn't even say downhill. I would say like it like takes a dive off a cliff. Like it just goes south real quick.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, like, for a second, because it's like a delay. Well, maybe it's not a cliff. Maybe it's like maybe like just a timer on a bomb starts going off. Like like there's still time to, in Harry's mind, there might be time to salvage it, but like at this point, I think Cho is like deciding how she's going to eviscerate him, like in her brain, and her hand just happens to be on the table, and Harry's like, well, if I just grab her hand, but he's trying to figure out how to, like, he's still in the previous, like, he doesn't even know what just happened.
Yeah, he doesn't know he messed up yet. This is like people before disaster. Like he hasn't realized it yet, and he's still on the like awkward first date moves.
Yeah, and I actually don't remember Cho. Okay, so Cho tells Harry she turned down Roger's request to date, and so like this is definitely like he told her about another girl that he's going to meet after this, but it's another girl that's like way younger, or not way younger, but younger than her, and I guess not as pretty in her mind. And she takes offense to this, and she starts like loading the chamber, like loading the clip, like trying to figure out like how are we gonna make Harry feel the worst about this. And so she says like, that guy like that's sitting right there like kissing this really hot girl, I turned down a date to go with him to this thing, to be you, right, in this scenario. So like, first of all, you suck to that aspect. Like, I would rather be kissing somebody. And then she brings up Cedric, right?
Yeah, and then she immediately is like, after that she goes, let's go for the double hit. Also, I used to come here with Cedric, my other hot boyfriend.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I'm sure, and that's so messed up. Like, that Harry like was right there when he died, like that can't be a fun memory for anybody to bring up. Obviously she felt hurt and she just was going for the jugular probably, but but
this is below the belt. Like this is where I'm like, come on, Cho. Like she brings up
this is Pansy Parkinson type stuff. Come on, you can't be doing that.
This is Pansy Parkinson material. She not only brings him up and talks about how they went on the date there, but then she's also like, oh, by the way, did he say anything about me when he died? Like, it's just, oh gosh.
No, like, what do you want me to say? Yes, I'm on a date with you, and I'm talking about your dead ex-boyfriend's last thoughts about you. Yeah, sure. I guess I'll make something up or something. But he says no, obviously, because that's the true thing to do. And then he tries to bring up Quidditch after, which is great. I mean, that's so true to form, of what a 15-year-old boy would try to do. He's like pulling the ripcord. He's like, anything that can get me out of this situation, right?
Yeah, he's like literally in the same sentence. He's like, no, but you support the tornadoes. Why?
Yeah.
Like he's like that worked before. Go back to that. Go
Yeah,
back
yeah,
to the
yeah.
beginning of the date.
Run the same play. Run the play that worked. Run the play that worked.
Yeah. Do you want to hear some facts about the Tornadoes?
Oh yeah, sure.
So the Tornadoes, which is Cho's favorite Quidditch team, their official name is the Tux Hill Tornadoes. They were founded in 1520, and they wear sky blue robes with a double, like, dark blue T on the chest and back. Okay. So again, like, the logos are not great here. But anyway, so
and the logo doesn't even look like a tornado. It just looks like a bunch of bricks, like stacked up on each other.
Yeah, like I just some of these teams, I don't know. But yeah, so the Tornadoes, the Seeker and Captain Roderick Plumpton led them to win the League Cup 5 times in a row, which is like the record. That's Roderick played as Seeker for the England national team 22 times and holds the British record for the fastest snitch capture during a game, which was 3.5 seconds.
Wow.
So what a boring game.
Using a move that became known as the Plumpton Pass. Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so I think he catches it up his sleeve or something. Was what happened. But yeah, can you imagine paying to go to a Quidditch match and it ends in 3.5 seconds?
Yeah, that would suck. I mean, and it wouldn't even be exciting. Like, I think, like, if you go to, like, a UFC event and there's, like, a big knockout, like, right off the bat, like, that's exciting. Like, that's worth the price of admission. If it was like immediate knockout, then everybody's going like nuts. Which, I mean, maybe we aren't like big Quidditch fans. Maybe we'd be be hyped to see that. But yeah, no, I would be disappointed if I paid the price of admission and it was over in 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, that's So in my opinion, I feel like the position of Seeker could maybe just be eliminated, but we'll go down that road when we talk about Quidditch later.
Yeah, no, I think I see your point. Definitely.
But anyway, so back to the Tornadoes. The Quibbler published an article that they were winning the league through a combination of blackmail, illegal broom tampering, and torture.
Oh my God. Torture?
They seem to be on some run where they're just consistently winning, so it's a little bit suspicious. But, blackmail, illegal broom tampering, and torture, maybe not.
Yeah. I mean, they hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah, they hate us. Speaking of haters, Ron is a hater of the Tornadoes, and he accuses Cho of being a bandwagon fan since the team was winning. But Ron also supports the worst team in the league, so that's probably why he's upset.
I mean, if you support the worst team, you just got to be. I guess that just becomes your personality. You just become a troll. You just talk crap about the rest of the league. But yeah, I think you just got to know your place. If you're that diehard of a whatever fan he is, but you just got to know
the Chudley Cannons.
The Chudley Cannons.
But but that concludes all my Tornadoes facts.
Nice. I enjoy the Quidditch facts.
I do
too. I
I
enjoy ripping on the logos. Those are they're pretty hideous.
Any chance to bring up Quidditch, I'm gonna take it.
Would you be a Quidditch fan? Definitely.
I mean, I like sports in general, so I feel like this is like the only sport, so I feel like I would be.
Yeah, I wish I knew more of they have to have more sports. There's got to be more than one sport.
Yeah.
That we don't know of. I mean, I'm sure Quidditch is obviously the number one sport, but it might be one of those things where it's like JK just didn't have enough time. She was like, okay, you get 2 bands, 2 musical artists, and you get 1 sport.
Exactly. But anyway, so where were we with this date?
Harry tries to bring up Quidditch again, tries to run the same play that worked earlier, and then all hell breaks loose. Starts to cry. Harry tries to change the subject from Cedric very desperately. He's like, I don't want to talk about this at all. I don't understand why you want to talk about this either. That's what he's saying. But Cho keeps trying to talk about Cedric, and he says, that he's already like talked about it. Like he's kind of like trauma dumped on Ron and Hermione, and then Cho is like, oh well, you can't talk about it with me. I'm like, and Harry's probably like, no, like we're in the middle of a tea shop next to it, surrounded by people kissing each other, and and babies throwing confetti. This isn't necessarily the best therapy session.
Yeah, I wrote in the notes, this girl needs therapy and not a man. I
Definitely.
just
I
so
think
many
that's
things.
spot
Like,
on.
you tried to talk to a man about your feelings. This was your first error.
Well, 15-year-old boy, I mean, I'm sure that if well-equipped like therapists be able to like talk this out, but 15-year-old boy who has the same trauma as you, if not
Yeah.
worse, definitely doesn't want to relive this in this setting.
Yeah, but him saying that he has talked about it with Hermione is just a nail in the coffin.
Just
Like,
keeps bringing up Hermione.
don't say the H word.
Yeah.
And it gets so bad that Roger and his girlfriend stop kissing and just stare at them. Like, this is just like getting so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if like it was at the same like what we were describing earlier where the tables are like right next to each other, it would be almost immediate. Like if you're at a dinner and like somebody's voice is raised like even a little bit above, you know, what the normal like speaking volume is, you and your spouse are like, what's going on here? Like let's maybe quiet down, let's listen in on this conversation. Because me and my wife are nosy like that. But if you're this close quarters and somebody starts crying, you're obviously going to start paying attention.
Yes, I feel like, I don't know. Yeah, everyone has their own strategy. My husband is like you guys. He's like, let's shut up and hear the drama. I'm the person that, like, when this type of thing happens next to me, I'm like, I start talking even louder and I'm like, let's just, like, I overly pretend like I somehow, even though this is a foot away from me, I somehow can't hear what's going on around me. Because I'm like, if I pretend like I don't notice, maybe they won't feel so awkward.
Yeah, you're trying to bring up Quidditch.
I'm Harry in
Yeah.
this situation.
Yeah, you're like Roger, like look at that, look at these babies, like they just, you know, right, like I just noticed them.
Yeah.
And they have confetti.
And as Cho starts raising her voice and she's teary and everything, not only Roger and his girlfriend split up kissing, but like all the rest of the couples that are kissing stop kissing. Like, it's like when like you can hear a pin drop in this restaurant because everyone's just watching the drama unfold.
It is super bad vibes though. You know, love is in the air. Everybody's having a good time, and then there's a girl that starts crying, and they're talking about a guy that died last year. Like, this is bad vibes.
Yeah. So basically, it's Cho's not happy. She like tries to confront Harry about Hermione, and finally, Harry goes like, "It's not like that with Hermione." Like, he like laughs it off. It's funny to him. Which I just want to call special attention to this, that Harry thinks even the idea of him having feelings for Hermione is laughable for all the Harry Hermione shippers out there. But anyway, yeah, so that's but him laughing, imagine you're like mad at your date and then he starts laughing at you. Ooh, yeah, you're done. You're done.
Yeah,
She's
like,
out.
I think that would make me want to laugh like even louder and like a crazy laugh. Where it's like, oh, ha! Really?
Yeah.
You're gonna laugh?
Yeah.
How about this? Throw coffee in his face.
I mean, if you're in an argument with a woman and she starts like maniacal laughing, it's over.
Oh yeah,
it's over
game
for
over. You went wrong somewhere. Like there was a moment there where you took a bad path, sir.
Yeah. So she basically
and it was saying the H word.
Yeah, he said the H word too many times, and she flees the scene, and the whole tea shop watches this go down, and then basically it kind of ends with Harry paying and then trying to find her, but he's lost her and he gives up and goes to the Three Broomsticks.
Yeah, and and I guess I just don't understand why Cho is so threatened by Hermione. Like,
yeah, it is weird. Like, why he's going on a date with you. I think it's just like the teenage insecurities, I guess. She's clearly one of his best friends. It's not that weird for him to be talking about her. Like, the three of him, Ron, and Hermione are like go everywhere together. Like Cho must know that like he talks to her, you know?
Yeah, it can't be surprising that he's going to say one of his best friend's names when she brings up Cedric Diggory. You know, like it's like, yeah, obviously I've talked to my friends about this.
Yeah. So. But yeah, and the second rude thing, she leaves without paying. She just like storms out Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's rude. Even if you're upset, like you could.
And she ordered.
And she ordered. But should we get into our hero and
Yeah.
villain of the scene?
Mm-hmm. I'll let you go first.
I mean, I guess my main villain here, I think, is Cho. I've mentioned these things before. She does a couple like rude things, like ordering for Harry, leaving without paying, kind of like forcing Harry into this date by like asking but not asking, bringing up her ex, trying to make him jealous. I mean, she's a mess. But you know, she's a teenager. I'll give it to her. But I don't know. I think a lot of this is kind of her fault.
Yeah, definitely. But so I'll do this a little differently. So like I'm gonna do this a villain of the scene. I'm gonna do it from the point of view of Cho.
Okay.
If I was Cho, the villain is definitely Hermione. You
Okay,
know?
fair.
Like
Fair.
if I'm Cho, this girl just can't. Harry is just consumed by her. You know, apparently, like
Yeah.
he can't get enough of her. He talks about his trauma with Hermione. He's gonna go. You know, he was probably hanging out with Hermione yesterday. You know, why can't you just take a day off, dude? You're gonna hang out with her again right after you hang out with me. And you know, it seems like if you're gonna spend that much time with her, Harry, like why don't you just marry her? You know, get over with. Like, why are you accepting suitors still, or accepting dates still? You know, like make it official.
Yeah, I mean that's true. And you had breakfast with her. We were supposed to spend the whole day together, and now it's being cut short by this terrible
Yeah,
person.
Hermione.
I don't think I really had a hero for this scene.
Yeah,
It
really
it's
isn't.
all villains.
It really is all villains.
For the record, if like the Bachelor Bachelorette show existed in this universe, Roger is 100% like a bachelor, you know?
Yeah, and like he doesn't pick any of them at the end. He's just like, I'm gonna stay single.
Yeah, he's like, no, I just realized I'm not ready for commitment.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite?
I like the life. I like the bachelor life.
I feel like for this scene, I don't know that I have a favorite quote. A lot of my favorite moments are kind of in like Harry's internal dialogue. So I feel like or like just moments that are more like physical parts, not like dialogue between Harry and Cho or whoever. So if I had to say, I'll say one, and then I guess I'll say honorable mention. A favorite moment would be when Harry lunges to grab Cho's hand, and then right then she moves it, and so he just grabs the sugar bowl just to like cover it up. I mean, it's just so awkward.
If it was like on a hidden camera show, that would have been number one clip of the thing. Guy reaches out to grab her hand and it was gone like immediately.
Yeah. And then I guess from Harry's, not the actual dialogue, but from his internal dialogue, I just like the part where he's thinking and he says he's wishing Roger would seize his girlfriend and start kissing her again to stop her goggling at him. He's just like, please, Roger, please start kissing her again.
Yeah.
Like, do something.
I think my favorite quote is right after he grabbed the sugar bowl. He said nothing. Their cherub threw another handful of confetti over them. Some of it landed in the last cold dregs of coffee Harry had been about to drink. So he was, there was still some coffee left, and he was going to use that to like sort of bide his time still. Like what else good is he going to do? He's tried to grab her hand. He had to like sort of make the excuse of going for the sugar, and now even the like little bits of like bad cold coffee that he can pretend to drink while they sit in awkward silence before Cho is about to annihilate him, he can't even drink that anymore because of this stupid confetti.
Yeah, it's just everything is coming up not Harry.
Yeah, this is bad luck for Harry in this one.
Yeah, and honestly, this whole scene, I feel like the first time I read this scene, my opinion of it was like, awkward first date, and it's, and they're just kind of figuring it out, and then they have this like fight and whatever. But after reading through the series and looking back, I look at this and I think there were just so many signs sprinkled throughout this that Ginny was a better fit for Harry than Cho.
So I think that Harry, like if you're drawing it up, like Harry, the chosen one, dating a very popular, beautiful girl at Hogwarts, that sort of like makes sense, I guess, in a big story arc. But like when you start to talk about their actual characters, there's not really any substance to that relationship other than like a crush. They don't really have anything relatable to talk about or relating other than like Quidditch, right? So yeah, I know that definitely makes sense to me. And I think upon reading this again, I think that Cho really like takes advantage of Harry in this moment where he's not expecting to talk about any of the things that she brings up after he mentions Hermione. Obviously, he's going to say her name, but she is one of his best friends. Why is it odd that he brings up Hermione?
Yeah. Yeah, she just, like you said, like they just don't have anything to talk about. So he is kind of bringing up Hermione as like something to talk about, but not like in a jealous way or anything, just talking. Even the fact that as they're going to this date, they pass by the Quidditch stadium and Ginny and Ron, they say that he can see Ginny and Ron playing Quidditch. It's like, oh, here's our little like hint, like nod, Ginny's out there, right? And then, which will also like throughout the story, you kind of get the sense that Ginny's a better Quidditch player than Cho. She even like beats her in a later match. Harry likes tea. Cho likes coffee. Harry doesn't like the tea shop. Cho likes the tea shop. And they, like you said, they don't have anything to talk about. Whereas like later when you get Harry and Ginny dating, it's like they're always talking and they're always laughing and joking during Quidditch practice, and there's never the like, oh, there was a bunch of awkward silences with Ginny.
Yeah, they're definitely just a lot more compatible.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is Cho being, like you said, Cho being always crying and being really emotional, and that's literally one of the like big things that Harry points out about Ginny that he likes, is that she's not super emotional and she's not like crying all over the place, and she can deal with the fact that Harry has these super crazy traumatic things going on in his life, and she isn't going to make it about her and her jealousy and insecurities.
Yeah. I think you put it pretty well over there. And she had like how many brothers? Like 7 brothers.
Yeah.
So she's been through some stuff,
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big Harry and Ginny shipper, so some people are gonna not like me in this podcast if you're a Hermione Harry fan. But
yeah, I guess we could get more into that when we cover Ginny.
Yeah, well, maybe we need to do like a relationships breakdown or something.
Roundup, something like that. Well, yeah, I think that about wraps it up for Harry and Cho's Valentine's Day date. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and share this podcast, and follow us on Instagram. Next week is a special episode. We're going to be exploring places in the real world where you can travel to experience the Harry Potter magic.
Until next week, happy reading, happy listening, and may you win all of your Quidditch matches.